Welcome back to the warm up with Ja and Ben. Today, we're getting into the season outlook of the Denver Nuggets. But before we get into it, please like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and all that good stuff. Please follow our new social media accounts on Instagram and Twitter as well. And let's get into it. So, today, we're going to talk about the Denver Nuggets, a team I have the highest of expectations for. We'll get into that later. They had the best player in the world, Nikola Jokic, who just seems to just do stuff we've never seen before or comprehend. They've also added a bunch of depth that they haven't had since their championship season back in 2023. And yeah, let's get into it, Ben.
All right, taking a look at the roster. There is a lot of different things to look at this year. Obviously, at the top, your main guy. Don't even need to say his name, you know him. Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon. Obviously, you brought in Cam Johnson in that very unexpected trade during free agency. If you want to go watch Josh scream at the camera about Cam Johnson, go watch that live stream because that was cinema. You bring in Valanciunas as the backup big, which was such an underrated pickup. Christian Brown off the bench, Peyton Watson, Strother, and then two pickups that I adore for this team, Bruce Brown and Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway can shoot the three. He's a very streaky guy, but he can make the important shots. Bruce Brown was a part of their championship team, so a lot to enjoy there. This is one of the deeper teams in the NBA, but more than being deep, I think they've surrounded Jokic with the necessary weapons to be able to get this thing done. I think that's the biggest thing. MPJ is a great player. I'm not going to say anything bad about MPJ, but I think we can both agree that he had way too much of a green light in Denver. Sometimes costing them games, sometimes costing them possessions. Cam Johnson is not that guy. He's obviously a way better defender than MPJ, and he can still provide what's needed on offense, just in a better offensive set than MPJ would give you, rather than instead of a heave, he's going to get a way better shot, is what I'm trying to say. No disrespect to MPJ, just different play styles.
Yeah.
So I think that fits them better. Lots of young potential here, but what are your thoughts, Shaw?
No, yeah, just to get into some of their depth, not saying their depth last year was so non-existent. They just had their starting five, and they took the defending champs OKC to 7 games when Michael Porter Jr. had one shoulder, Aaron Gordon was on one hamstring and one half a kneecap, and then you're just asking Jokic to do too much, and Jamal Murray hasn't been the same Jamal Murray as he was when they won in 2023. But for them to add, like you said, a player like Cam Johnson, who's not the green light shooter that MPJ is, but shot the same percentages as MPJ did on a bad team, right? He could take the ball off the dribble a little bit better. He's a way more versatile defender and quite honestly has a little bit more playmaking and IQ skill set. You bring back Bruce Brown, who had his best year ever with Jokic after being team to team for a couple years. And then you have Christian Braun, a player who started for them last year, and I expect to have another leap. Honestly, he shot the ball really well for them last year, and playing off Jokic just makes everybody better. Aaron Gordon, I thought, was an underrated player for them last year. He ended up shooting the ball 41%, which if your slasher is going to shoot 41% from three, that's going to elevate your ceiling. I'm really excited about this team. I love what they did with their depth. Jokic doesn't have to be they probably won't lose Jokic's minutes like that. They have Valanciunas, like you said, and in preseason last night they ran zone with Valanciunas and Jokic on the floor, and they put Jokic at the 2 or at the 4. So I think this team is set up to have a very special season.
Yeah, for sure. Some things I kind of want to hone in on. You mentioned the injuries last year. Obviously, Aaron Gordon blew a tire out in that series, and then MPJ had the shoulder issue. Those were two significant injuries. Like, if you look back and look at it differently, like Denver could have easily won that series against OKC. Obviously, Westbrook is no longer there, the point guard off the bench. So there's going to be a bit of a different wrinkle there offensively and defensively. I think Brown's minutes are probably going to go way up. When I look at this team, like when you look at the best players in the world, the Jokic's, the Lukas, even the Giannis's, I'm not going to put Shea in this conversation just because you'll see where I'm going with this. All the guys I mentioned, like especially Jokic and Luka, are willing passers, right? So when you look at Jokic, a guy that can put up 15 assists one night if he wants to, you got to have the right guys around you to make that happen. Spot up shooters, guys that are great off the cut. Aaron Gordon is the best example of that because like Jokic is over here just throwing it right back behind his head, and Gordon's just standing there waiting for the dunk. Or you've got spot up shooters like Cam Johnson will probably spot up from the corner now. And you'll also have Tim Hardaway there to spot up when he gets minutes off the bench. You've got willing, capable shooters as well. The same applies for Luka. We talked about that in the Dallas Mavericks episode where he needs guys that are ready for the kick out. And, Giannis, same thing, guys that are ready for the kick out. So that's what really matters for this Denver Nuggets team. They needed guys that would complement Jokic well. And I feel like they did a great job of doing that. And obviously the Valanciunas pickup is really important because non-Jokic minutes were a struggle last season. And they've been a struggle in his tenure in Denver. This won't completely fix it, but I think this is going to really stabilize them at the 5, having Valanciunas out there to at least, put a body up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when you look at this from a basketball standpoint, it's really good news for Nikola Jokic.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And then, like, their first-round pick last year, Deron Holmes. I mean, he tore something last year and was out for the whole year, and now he's going to be back.
That's right. That's right, yeah.
That's going to be awesome. And then, like, we saw in Game 6 last year, like, Julian Strawther literally won him the game, like, just being the sixth man off the bench. Jalen Pickett and Julian Strawther are really good shooters, and just if they could take another step, too, that's going to go a long way and increase their depth. For me, this is my official championship pick for who's going to win the championship this year. I just think a player of Jokic's caliber is too good, and I think this is the best team he's had in his time in Denver. We'll have to obviously see what Cam Johnson is and if it really was an upgrade or not, but I have a feeling it will be. So this is my championship favorite. I believe in Denver.
Okay.
I believe in everything they got going on. Traveling a mile high come playoff time, I think is a real thing. It doesn't get talked about enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, championship pick. I'm gonna lock that in. So if it happens, we'll repost that everywhere.
Yeah.
Do I think this is a championship winner? I'm gonna go no, but I'm not gonna say that prediction is far off at all. This is gonna be one of the best teams in the West by far.
Yeah.
Will they finish with more wins than OKC? I don't know. I think the lowest this team goes is a 2 seed. Honestly, I don't think this team finishes lower than 2, maybe 3. If Houston wants to get busy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think we mentioned this in our other videos. I think it's, your Denver, Houston, and OKC. Those are going to be your top 3 teams in the Western Conference. I think those are locks, barring any significant injuries. Those are going to be the 3 teams that are like, okay, these are the guys we have to worry about.
Yeah.
So they'll definitely be in that top 3. I really just don't know if this is going to be enough to beat OKC yet. I don't know if, we'll discuss it in the OKC video, but I think this is a team that's going to be poised to win darn near 70 games again. Because unless there's fatigue, I don't see any reason why they won't. They have one of the best rosters in the NBA. But Jokic has been the best player in the world for a few straight years now, and he's showing zero signs of slowing down.
Yep.
So we're going to see what happens. This is the best team he's ever had. I think this roster is better than the championship roster.
I agree.
So we're going to see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, for me too, if they get home court advantage, if they could avoid OKC until the conference finals this year, I think that'll go a long way. And it's not losing the Jokic minutes. Like last year, I think they were -10 the second he got off the court. Just having a stabilizer like Valanciunas, who we don't like him starting for any team. But if he's your backup big, you could do a lot worse than that. Yeah, this team's going to be interesting. I'm kind of interested to see. We ain't talked about him yet. Jamal Murray. They extended him last year. He's making $46 million, then 50, then 53, then 57. That's a lot of money. It's a little bit under Supermax. But like he needs to become that player that he was a couple years ago. Like he literally was the best player or the second best player on a championship team, averaging 35, 5, and 6, and playing great defense. Because that two-man game of Jokic and Murray is unguardable. So if he can get back to that and you surround him with these supporting pieces, it's going to go a long way.
Yeah. Bubble Murray was the greatest Jamal Murray I've ever seen in my life, man. Like an automatic 50 piece every night. Yeah. So, yeah, I agree with you. I'd love to see Jamal round into form once again. I think the thing with him has been, obviously he's getting up there in age, and he lacks a little bit more speed since his devastating injury. Yeah. I think that's been noticeable. But he's still Jamal Murray. He won the title after that injury and played really well. So he can obviously still play a lot of good ball. He's got a lot of good ball left in him. So, but honestly, to round it out, Denver fans should be excited. There's a lot to look forward to, and we've said this about every team so far. If they stay healthy, I don't see any reason why this team won't be at the top of the Western Conference, making a threat to dethrone OKC. I think they're going to be fabulous. And then obviously one of the things that really stood out to me was bringing back Bruce Brown. I know I mentioned that before, but let's not forget Bruce Brown. Obviously he's hopped around a little bit, but this was the team. This was the system in which he thrived the most. Mm-hmm. He's a willing passer. He can get it done on offense. He's got a really good bag defensively. And he just makes plays. He's a really scrappy guy. Those are the kind of guys that succeed next to a guy named Nikola Jokic. So, yeah.
And then, with Bruce Brown, he had his best year with Denver, and then he got paid. He's on a rookie deal, minimum deal right now. He probably wants to make some of that money back he lost over these past couple of years. He's kind of got devalued a little bit. So he's in a little prove-it year himself. And then I think just an underrated thing to touch with the Cam Johnson and Michael Porter Jr. trade is they got $20 million cheaper with Cam Johnson. They paid Michael Porter Jr. They felt like he deserved the money at the time, but actions over words. They traded that contract for a lot cheaper one. So they're being a lot more cautious with their flexibility, how they want to spend this team out, which kind of, I wonder if they're a trade candidate for anybody. Yeah. I don't know who or what player. But yeah.
Yeah, I think here I'll pull the roster up one final time before we go. Looking at it, I think getting up there in age, if it doesn't work out, I think the number one guy that stands out to me is probably Aaron Gordon. If you want to move off him, I don't see any reason why you would want to just yet. 30 years old is not terrible. That'd probably be the guy that stands out if you want to make a move to get somebody even better. But this roster looks pretty set. I mean, they did a lot of work to make sure and say, like, look, we're going to get the guys that we want. We're going to go in and add to this team. We're tired of being complacent and being a 4 seed that loses in the first or second round for these past few seasons. They want to get back to that championship pedigree. So they're on the right track.
Yeah, no, 100%. Jokic is too good to not be in these Western Conference Finals games year after year, because I just think he's that special as well.
He is.
All right. Like I said, I got Denver winning the chip this year.
Lock it in.
Lock it in. Hopefully I'm right, but as a Lakers fan, I really hope I'm wrong. But thank you guys for joining this season outlook of the Denver Nuggets. Please like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notifications, all that good stuff. Please follow our new social media feeds on Instagram and Twitter as well, so you never miss when we drop another new episode. And thank you guys for watching, and then peace and stay safe.